What a fucking embarrassment. Indeed. Indeed, they wonder why people look at them as mentally challenged morons. Guys, y'all see the title of the video. And yes, this has to be talked about. Why we got retarded fucks using tragedies to try to push their propaganda. So apparently we got this retarded fuck right here who wants that shooter out in Minnesota to be part of MGTOW and the Manosphere so bad that he will ignore the own news article itself, where the authorities has stated the shooter was transgendered. But wait a minute. Hold up 1 minute. I thought transgenders were part of the LGBT. Since when have they ever been part of MGTOW, Red Pill, or the Manosphere? And just to make something clear, this is coming from the authorities. Unlike retarded fucks that will just take a news article and post it on their community tab, we take the time and listen to what's being said. And what's even more ironic, they said nothing about the shooter even being MGTOW, Red Pill, or Manosphere. This all coming from the retard's mouth. But at the very moment, he gets called out on it, what does he do? That's right. He falls on the floor, kicking and screaming, all because he didn't get the toy or candy bar he wanted. Or in this case, nobody's looking at the mass shooter the way he wants them to look at it. This is why he's now crying like a little bitch in his community tab. In fact, he's been crying and bitching and complaining about it ever since this morning, while I'm at work, while I'm working out, while I'm cooking, while I'm bathing. And he still keeps going. But since I am talking about this, let's talk about this shit in general. Retarded fucks using tragedies to try to push their propaganda. And let's be upfront and real. They don't care about the victims. They don't. Only thing they care about is pushing their propaganda. The only thing they care about is using this tragedy as a crutch to sit there and say, oh, this person needs to be locked up. These group of people need to be locked up. Oh, the federal government needs to do their investigations. And all the while, there's no proof of the mass shooter being MGTOW nor Manosphere, none by the news outlet nor by the authorities. As a matter of fact, the mass shooter, because I know what they're about to say next, the mass shooter is not even conservative. He's a far left liberal. Far left liberal, LGBT. Yes, yes, their claims are falling apart, and they can't take it. And no, this ain't the only time they pull that shit. Each every time there's been a mass shooting, you got the same bad actors jumping on YouTube pushing their propaganda, thinking people is going to listen. When in reality, and and let me hold my retarded fuck ass haters' hands when I say this. In reality, everybody is looking down on you retarded fucks doing that shit. And as a MGTOW, I feel this, as a MGTOW, that shit disgusts the shit out of me and everybody else. No one gives a fuck about your propaganda or what you want the mass shooter to be. And the fact you will use a tragedy to try to boost yourself up and to try to make people go at other people you don't like. That makes people pissed off at y'all retarded fucks even more. As I said, you don't care about the victims. You don't. But you will use that tragedy to boost your own ass up. Or try to spread lies and bullshit. Just because you don't like this certain person or this certain group. And you think people is gonna get on board with that shit? Again, you really are mentally challenged. And this goes out to all these retarded fucks using tragedies like mass shootings, murder, etc. Trying to use it as a crutch to go after people you don't like, hoping that you could get them canceled. Each and every one of them. If you don't care about the victims, why is you talking? And no, nobody's trying to listen to your propaganda, and nobody's trying to hear you whine, cry, bitch, and complain when you get called out on it. Get the fuck over it. Sorry, the mass shooter is not what you wanted him to be. And never will. My heart's prayers and condolences goes out to the victims out in Minnesota, as well as their families. That being said, allow me to speak to those victims out in Minnesota when I say this to this retarded fuck right here. Have several seats and shut your dumb, mentally challenged, feeling all up in your feelings and emotions ass up forever. Mad because nobody's looking at the mass shooter the way you want them to look at it. And I'm out this bitch. Later.